Hello, everyone. Raymond Moore, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing out there? Just want to welcome you into the channel. I know I haven't done a video in a while because I've been away doing some really cool prepper, conventions. I was at Mountain Readiness Expo in North Carolina speaking there, and that was great. And then last weekend, I had the honor of speaking at Old School Survival Boot Camp, and it was a lot of fun. Rained on us on Saturday though, but hey, you just go on, keep on moving forward, drive on, and adapt and overcome. But interesting thing is, what would happen if things go south with China? Now, I'm not talking about, nukes and all that other stuff. I mean, yeah, things could go south and, we start throwing things go boom at each other, But the one thing that I do see happening is actually sanctions going to, China. And if this takes place, then, it's going to be rather interesting. In fact, the Biden administration last October came in and they imposed sweeping tech restrictions on China. New rules include measure to exclude China from using semiconductor chips made anywhere in the world with U.S. tools. So that puts, China quite in a bind. But again, even businesses, I just saw this article today. US be crazy to ignore growing hazards of doing business in China. So even in US business, we're starting to see businesses even kind of impose their own, sort of their own sort of sanctions and things like that. But the big question is, what would happen if we can no longer get our cheap Chinese stuff? I mean, again, I recently spoke at the Mountain Readiness and the OSS boot camp, Old School Survival Boot Camp. The acronym is OSS, but I spoke at that, and I had a really good question I was posing to people, and I asked them basically, if things go south, you know, would they be able to get their inexpensive, cheap Chinese stuff anymore? Or do they have a supply chain to ensure that their families and everything kind of have some sort of normalcy? Now, when I asked this question, a lot of people, I would say probably about a good 90, maybe even 90% even said, no, man, we don't really have a plan B in store. So what would happen then if we put sanctions on China? Because again, I just don't see us lobbing missiles at each other and everything first coming out of the chute. I think that things are going to gradually progress like we have been seeing. And in fact, I am going to be doing a rather interesting video on DoD. Alaska Prepper and Southern Prepper One brought some really good information to the forefront, and I did a lot of research on this. And so I'm going to be sharing another video on that. But what I am seeing is we are slowly creating sanctions against China. And we've been doing it with Russia, and Russia has really, been hurting to say the least. And in fact, get ready for a really good article that I'm going to be posting on my website in regards to neon. So that one is going to really surprise you. And again, what our goal as preppers is that we don't want to be caught behind the 8 ball. But when I asked all these preppers these questions, what are you going to do about it? Do you have a supply chain and everything? And these are preppers, folks. And again, 90% of them said no, we don't have it. How can we lessen our dependency on, Walmart, Costco, some of these big box stores and everything like that? And again, the idea is great and we want to do it. But what we need to see is, what can we realistically do? Is there viable answers? And I have to say there are. And so, uh, when we start really delving deep, and in fact, it was interesting. Some folks will say, "I'm just going to buy American." Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but the consumer goods market is about $600 billion strong. And I don't know if you realize, but basically 11 companies own basically everything that we uh, eat, drink, put on our bodies, wash our clothes with, clean our home with, and things like that. 11 companies. And so what I have to then ask them is, do you know where these people get their stuff from to make all these things? And that's not even to mention all the toxins and everything like that that goes into all these products and stuff. In fact, rather interesting, slide here. Top cleaning products to avoid. Why? Because they got cancerous or carcinogenic toxins in them, and they are not good for us. In fact, here, check this out. 10 most common toxic chemicals found in products to avoid. And all these are in our, in our cleaning supplies. They're in, and in fact, it was interesting. Who was I watching the other day? Oh yeah, Cohen over at Mountain Readiness Homestead, Mount River Homestead, or but I was watching Cohen's videos, and he even showed that there's warning packages on toothpaste, and warning that kids under 6 years old shouldn't even swallow toothpaste or anything, and if you do, call poison control. So the thing is that what Cynthia and I have been doing is really working hard to kind of get our addiction off of Walmart, and we don't. We're really working hard at not shopping at big box stores anymore. We're really working hard at not. Bringing more toxic chemicals into our home. In fact, I'm really super proud of Cynthia. She has switched completely from all these toxic chemicals, all these name brands, all these other things that she's been slathering and washing and cleaning the house with and everything. She's really done it. And I'm super, super proud. I'm about 80% there. So, I am working on it as well. But again, what we are doing is that we are really working hard at one, locally made, or make our own. We are working at locally grown, so we're shopping farmers markets as well as growing our own. We're building a big back garden and everything, and then we're looking at supporting American made, family owned, and again, we're really reading the labels. We're looking and doing our research. I mean, I'm super proud of Cynthia. I mean, we go to the store and she's flipping over the thing and what does this have in it, and she's looking and things. She's been doing her research, and this is something that I really encourage all you guys out there to do as well. Do your research and know what you are bringing into your home. And we've just basically said no more. And so we're cutting our addiction from cheap Chinese made stuff or even expensive Chinese made stuff. I mean, look at what a bottle of Tide costs now. And I mean, we were using like Arm and Hammer too, and that is even going up in price. And you know what? My clothes still stink, man. So it doesn't even work anymore. I mean, I don't know if you guys use Dawn, dish cleaner or anything. That stuff, I mean, with what we're using now and what we've discovered, I use two little squirts on my little soap pad. And in fact, just the other day, I did 3 days worth of dishes versus, using Dawn. I'm squeezing it on like crazy. And holy mackerel, do a pan. What do you do when you do a pan when you're using Dawn? All over the place. And it's interesting. We would go through a big bottle of Dawn, and who knows how many chemicals and everything is in Dawn soap and stuff like that. But we've found some great solutions that are very cost effective. It's American made, plant based, and so these are the things that we're doing. And so we're creating supply chains so that we have a means to maintain when basically sanctions go into place. And again, when sanctions go into place with just-in-time inventory and everything like that, how long do you think that Walmart is going to have your mouthwash and toothpaste and floor cleaner and all these other things that we use every day and everything? I mean, can you imagine, remember the days of, when the big C was happening and people were just fighting over toilet paper and stuff? Imagine that on a big grander scale, all the fights and everything that are going to be going on in the Walmart aisles or wherever your big box store that you might be shopping and everything. That is what is coming. And that was rather surprising when I was talking to a lot of these preppers at these conventions. And I was just amazed that people, it's just kind of off people's radar. They don't think about things like these. And because we just use it every day, we kind of take it for granted and everything. So my challenge is, and what I'm really hoping and trying to do, is wake people up and help them understand that sanctions are coming and it's going to get really ugly. And so, are you going to be the ones fighting at Walmart or anything like that? Who knows? I know there's some of you going out there, well, I'll just make my own and everything like that. Well, that's all great, make your own soap and stuff. But, is the question is, how many out there really have the time, have the knowledge, have the supplies, have know-how, and then do it right all the time? I mean, if you look at these pioneer women, that's what they did every day. The women stayed home, made the soap, made this, made that, and everything. And like it or not, in the American normal nuclear family, I mean, the time just isn't there. I mean, mom works, dad works. And so, if you think that you're going to be doing all this and everything, thinking realistically, I mean, I don't see it happening. So, but I just wanted to mention this to you, and we found a solution, and that's what we're doing. We're cutting our addiction off from these big monolithic stores and all these other companies that are, adding toxin to our bodies, selling us, crap, basically. I don't know about you, but stuff just doesn't work anymore. It just isn't as good anymore. It doesn't clean, it doesn't polish, it doesn't shine, it doesn't do a lot of the stuff like it did, so it's just not working anymore. And so, we are making the change now. We are putting supply chains into effect now, so that when these things do happen, we're not going to be, living behind the 8 ball. We're creating a normalcy for us and our family. And again, if this is something that you're interested, I put a link down below. Contact me. Let's sit and talk. What I'll do is give you a really quick, tour of what we're doing, showing the products that we're using and everything, and let you see. So it's real, and that's what we're doing. We got to start supporting America, folks. We got to stop supporting China and all these other BRICS nations, which is another video coming up here soon. And so, again, interesting things are taking place in the world today. And we just are doing everything that we can in our household. I'm doing everything I can to share what we are doing so that maybe others will start doing it as well. And, we've made the switch to, clean up our home, create a positive Buy American impact with our home, and then also stop buying Chinese crap and giving our own money to these big box conglomerates. So, again, if you want to know what we're doing, look at the link below, contact me, or just email ray@raymondmoore.com, and let's sit and chat, tell you what we're doing. And it's not as hard as we thought it was going to be. And when we decided to make this transition. So, but that is everything that I can think of. I just wanted to come in here and really encourage folks to, start doing things now. Because again, I was really surprised at talking to a lot of people at the prepper conventions that, again, about 90% of the people did not have an answer. And, they don't have supply chains in they don't have their supply chains in order so that they're able to maintain, somewhat of a normalcy in life. in regards to a lot of the consumer goods that we use every day. And it's funny, we think about food, water, meds, all these other things. And sometimes we think about toothpaste and everything, but what do we think about? Dishwashing soap and toilet bowl cleaner. And maybe you might think of shampoo or something like that, but there's a lot of consumer goods that we don't think about. And so this is a checklist that we've been making. We need to get this, we need to get that. And so, but that's everything, folks. Do me a favor. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so you get notified when we are coming live or putting up a new video and things. And then finally, tune in to the next video that we are going to do. What we're doing here, something big is coming down the pipe. So watch out for that. Ring that bell so you get notified, and keep an eye out for these next videos coming up. Interesting stuff. And oh my goodness. And then keep an eye out my website. The neon article is going to be very eye-opening. And then, folks, listen, if you are not on my Telegram channel, I use Telegram and I have a news group, and I'm really working hard at growing that and everything. I am sending out pertinent, very fast news. If you're not on my newsletter, get on my newsletter. I just sent out some information just yesterday, as well as a buy alert. These are things that I do. I put out buy alerts, especially with Ogson Farms and everything. So when I see something on sale, then I'm letting you guys know. And why I'm letting you guys know is because when Ogson Farms has a sale on Amazon, then it's only a 24-hour sale. So if you don't get in, get what you need, and get out, you're probably going to miss the sale. And usually they don't put a product like that again on sale for another, 3-4 months. So when they have these sales, you need to jump on them, but it's hard to figure out when these are going on. So I've actually created a page on my website, RaymondMoore.com /shop is what you can go check out. And I have all these Ogson foods there, and I just shift and refresh, and then all the new prices come in. I scan it about every other day looking for, really good deals. And then when I find a good deal, I'll zap it to my Telegram news group, as well as I'll send it out to my newsletter folks. So go to my website, sign up for my free newsletter. It is free. And then also go to Telegram, where I am sending out a lot more information, a lot more pertinent news, and deal with global events and stuff. We don't want to be caught behind the 8 ball, folks. So the more that we do now, the more that we can prepare, the more that we can create our supply chains, putting these things in action now versus later, then, better for us. A lot of things are coming down the pipe, folks. I mean, August, big stuff happening. Fall, big stuff happening. Wintertime, big stuff happening. And I'll be covering a lot of this in other videos and articles coming up here soon. So that's everything. Raymond Moore, Kilt a Prepper. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless, and Kilt on.